Hello, everybody there watching. Uh, Sorry for the impromptu stream there, but I never really plan these things out much anymore. Just chilling out in the studio today, getting ready for WonderCon, a trip to the States, trying to finish up this picture here. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Hello. You're Barmy. Very good proportions here. Yes, proportions. Yeah. I her cosplay stuff pops up on my timeline a lot, and she's good. So that's what Rogue looks like. Now I'm working on this picture is on I'm using a very high grade watercolor paper called Arches. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm happy with this one. It's I don't really plan out a lot of my artwork whenever I start it, and I just kind of find it as I'm going. And that's what happened with this one too. I was like, okay, painting it. I'm like, hmm, it needs something in the background, but I don't know what. And then it's like, well, it's Rogue. Iconic imageries of her kind of beating up sentinels. So I was like, "Ooh, I'll put like a fallen sentinel behind her." And I've never painted a sentinel before, but figures good time as any to start trying to do it. So yeah, I'm still working on it though, but I'm happy with where it's coming. I'm basically just using gouache for this. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's my the picture is attached to my drafting table here, so it's a bit difficult for me to give you some close-up looks at it. But yeah, there's a I'm just making it up as I go. Just making it look like it's broken apart down here, like wires coming out, kind of like being arbitrary about where the body is. Uh, I just want it to look broken and but her pop out in the front and kind of have that, you know, in the background. So a lot of these colors are muted. The lines aren't very clear. They're kind of a little what you call it blurred. So I'm gonna go and work in on this. And there are so many different Sentinel designs too. But again, I'm just trying to kind of like it's kind of a mixture of two different types, three different types. But I guess that's what the artists who are in charge of designing them do. They just kind of like okay, look at the older versions and kind of play around with them. Yeah, so I'm working on this watercolor paper. It's really nice. Arches, expensive, but um, yeah, I decided to give in and kind of splurge a bit on the supplies. So I'm just working on some small details. I want to kind of put a big broken piece back here to kind of break up this space, and I might just do that. Again, I don't plan these things out. I just see it and like, oh, okay, let's try that out. And I don't really have a very, I've got a very limited color palette, so I'm only using, I'll show you, black, Prussian blue, ivory black, Prussian blue, flame red, lemon yellow, and permanent white. And then I'm trying to, yeah, for some reason I feel like there's this curved piece I want to see down here. Just like kind of a broken piece. I envisioned this like big clunky piece down here, and it kind of I might remove it, I might keep it, I haven't decided yet. One of my funnest parts the funnest parts of doing a painting is when you're finished and you get to remove because 'cause I've got it all taped up here, remove the tape to see what it looks like. That's okay. Yeah, let's make that a little bit darker. Mm, yes, I'm just using this gouache here. I'm really addicted to gouache. Yeah, I'm just gonna have some broken pieces laying around here too. Having the piece with the nice outside lines to make it yeah, exactly. Um, mm, yeah. Only problem with gouache is it's water-based, so it lifts up when you're painting, but, comes with a medium. So I want this to look a little bit more have a little bit more volume to it. So I'm gonna try to darken up some of these spaces in here. So whenever you're, layering with gouache, you gotta be really light with the brush. Just kind of let it glide over the paint. If you press too hard, it'll lift up the paint that's already underneath there. I like to put, like, these little pop marks in the metal. Yeah, put some, like, junk material down here, like, parts have been broken apart. Yeah. I don't know, some artists seems like they've got everything planned out to a T where everything's gonna be for me, it's all, improvised, ad lib, just I'm painting and I see, "Oh, I wanna put something here, so let's throw that there. Ooh, I wanna make this darker, so let's make it darker." I very seldom do, like, and I know this is a bad habit, but I seldom do um, thumbnails of what I'm gonna draw. I probably should, but and I find that when I do, it usually works, but maybe it's just lazy. Usually, I have like a picture in my head. I'm like, okay, let's just roll with that. I wish I could do something like this for like a, like card company. That works. Yeah, just trying to keep these eyes some depth. There we go. So my goal is to try to get about 10 new big pieces done for WonderCon. So far, I've gotten this will be number 4, and I'm going to arrive in California on the 24th, and I set up the booth on the 27th. So I've got 3 days where I'm just basically going to sit around and paint all day. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm doing a lot more painting to the background than I am the foreground here. But the challenge is to where the foreground still pops out more than the background. But when you look at the background, you can get lost in it too. Oh, all right. Let's see what else I'm going to do here. Uh, every painting is a challenge. So you got to try to push yourself to doing something maybe that you've never tried before. And one thing that I've been just kind of telling myself that I need to do for the last, I don't know, few months or so is I do a lot of like one character. And again, this is, well, technically, this is not just one character, but a more dynamic, more involved composition. And um, something where I really have to think about the whole construction of the composition, the layout, and everything. But when you're just doing like a commission for a Comic Con or something, it's just usually okay, one character, no real background or anything for the most part. So I've been wanting, really had the urge, the itch to do something along these lines where I can create a story within the picture because that's what I enjoy doing the most. It's like making stories with the pictures, something where people can get lost. And at some point too, I just kind of like put the picture away and don't look at it anymore and just go with my imagination. And I'm the kind of person I like to work from reference photos. I enjoy it. I mean, I would have to say that I enjoy working from my imagination, of course, but it's just something about working from reference photos. Like people like Alex Ross, Kent Williams, Frank Frazetta, I mean, they all work with reference photos as well. There are many artists who do. Just I enjoy taking the challenge of turning that into, again, like a story. You look at the picture and you kind of imagine what happens before, during, and after the snapshot was taken. And whenever I start working on something like this, I just put everything else aside. I mean, the new Daredevil episodes come out, and I haven't even watched it yet. Like, I just wanna work on this painting, but that's how I get. When I start working on a painting, I can't stop until it's finished. I'm gonna add in just a little bit of red to her nose. So that's where a lot of there are parts of your body where there's a lot of center of blood, nose being one of them, above your eyes. That's why when you get cut above your eye, there's just a ton of blood because there's a ton of blood just sitting up there. You know? So tomorrow I'm gonna be on, Roman's channel. We're gonna be discussing, the great film, one of my favorite horror films, Event Horizon. Now, I remember watching that back in '98. I believe it was '98 that I watched it, because it was the year I went to, Osaka as an exchange student, and, yeah, it freaked me the hell out. That and, In the Mouth of Madness, both Sam Neill movies. I need to add some shadow right in here. Now for my gouaches, I'm using a wet palette. Again, I'm hooked on these. It's been such a game changer. Again, I'll never understand why I didn't find this out till now. That's the thing. Sometimes you just gotta find stuff on your own. Put in the effort to do the research, look up things, and you'll find it. My goal is to finish this. I'm gonna put a time limit on it myself by maybe finishing it by 11 or 10:30. I really don't wanna spend too much time on it because I have the a tendency to overwork things. That kinda works down here. Yeah, I like this piece. Again, the other challenge is to make it to where the background doesn't dominate the foreground. So a good thing about I know say this all the time, but a good thing about doing, your picture online, you could just look over at the screen and see what your picture looks like if you would see it standing, like, 10 feet away. It lets you know if it's working or not. Whereas if I'm just sitting at my desk and painting here for a long time, I don't see the picture as a whole, I see, like, individual places, portions of it, and it's great for details, but you could be working on a place for, like, you know, an hour or so, and then you take a step back and look at it, and it doesn't work at all. It works at it when you're looking at closely, but whenever you zoom out, step away, it doesn't work. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Jacob, I just saw the picture you sent me. Yeah, these are cool. Did some mecha work. Oh, I see what you do. You do these random doodles and you turn them into pieces. That's cool. Yeah, that's fun to do. All right, let me get back to this. I might just add a little bit of flame stuff back here. Just have some fun. I always find that when you're having fun with the picture, it resonates with the people who look with it, the viewer. If you're having fun, then when they see it, that will transcend. We added some brighter white ones. Again, I don't want these to pop out too much, so maybe dab on them. There we go. My schedule is all off. Ooh, let's go in there with a small brush. I ordered these cheap brushes from Temu, and they're great. Oh, I think I don't wanna work too well, this is a bit off down here. I know I should bring this over just a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. The colors I'm using don't allow me to get, like, a very vivid purple, so what I use pink instead. Now this is off right here, so I'm gonna fix that. Back over here, add some white, black. What I like to do is mix a gray and then add it to a color, and that gives you some really, uh, muted colors that don't combat with the foreground. Let's see. Hmm, I'm gonna put a little bit of a shadow underneath here. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. Thing about doing a painting is you don't have the control Z button, but if you don't like something, Let me just rework it again. And I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna make hmm, you know what? I'm gonna add that in there. I'm gonna add something in here. I haven't liked this space right here, so I'm gonna put the side of his mask. That's what I'm gonna do. Gonna go in there like this. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I was looking for. Really like the 2 ship I was working on. Maybe go back and make the car. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's just the beginning. Just keep on rolling with it, and you can make copies of it if you want to, and then try out different designs with the same one. The, options are endless. I recently did that, Transformers, commission, and that really got me into wanting to do kind of like mechanical robotic things, which is something like cars and stuff that I've really stayed away for the longest of times. I don't know why, maybe a little bit intimidated by it, but now I'm kinda hooked. I'm gonna go with that. Go. I'm getting to that point where I almost wanna take the tape off, but I'm gonna resist. 9:45. I might finish this by there's a possibility I could finish this by 10 or 10:30. 'Cause what I wanna do today is my goal again is to get 10 pictures done before I go, 10 big ones, because my goal is to sell I like to sell prints and all, but I wanna sell original art. Reason why? You sell 1 original art for, like, 300, $400, um, and then, or you sell, like, 10 posters to make that much. So, of course, I would and I like to p have people have my original art, take that home with them. Yeah, Babylon ships. When I first looked at them, I thought well, for me, I see Gundam mecha, Gundam suits. Let's just put these little dots here and there. Man, I really don't wanna work too much more into this, but, maybe put a little bit more work into her boots here, just a little bit. think I forgot something. Yeah, I did. Sure. Add this little blue part here. All right. Yeah, I've really got the urge to take the tape off and see what it looks like. The only danger of taking the tape off is if you have to really get close to the edges and you kill that nice white crisp border. Or, for example, you're painting something on the inside and there's some paint on your hand and it kind of touches the edges. Kinda gotta be careful with that. Yeah. Now this white's a little strong, so I'm gonna push it back with some blue, kinda mix that with a neutral color. There we go. Something I started doing because of the setup I got here is I hold my palette in my hand now, and I find that that makes it easier to paint with, or I'll just set it down on my lap right here. Never really liked the version of Rogue from the movies. Yeah, I know, man. They didn't really that didn't it was like, "Oh, she's too young and too, like, innocent looking, like a teenager." I was like, "I don't." I imagine her more as a grown up, more voluptuous, like, yeah, they missed it with her. I thought they did well with Jean Grey and Storm, of course. Hugh Jackman, Cyclops, Beast. I mean, a lot of other characters, they just, yeah, they hit it on the head. But, no, they missed out on Rogue. You know? Of course, everybody's gonna love Jim Lee's version of her. I think that's where a lot of people that's what a lot of people think of when they think of Rogue. Damn. Hey, what's up, low spec? How you doing there? It's my music stopped. Oh, is that it? Huh, guess so. Alright. Um, Thanks, man. Yeah. Um, Man, I'm gonna just knock back a little bit of this white that's popping out here. Oh, I need to fix this area. That's what I forgot to do. Let's go in there. Mess with that. Try to get a little bit darker in here. You know, I'm gonna add some pop marks. I'm going to there's some fine details now. I'm gonna consider the whole kind of, yeah, I'm gonna consider it basically composition, everything finished. Just go in there and add some fine details to it. Just kind of arbitrary pieces of shrapnel and things laying down here. Maybe just add this little, there we go, that'll work. I keep on pushing and pulling with this leg in the back. Can't make a decision whether or not to pull it forward or push it back. Another thing too, whenever you take the tape off, it'll because this blue interrupts with the picture as well, and it helps make certain colors pop out. So I'm actually probably getting to that point where I just wanna go ahead and take the tape off, and then maybe make a couple of edits. Time is it? You know what? I'll do that at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I'll pull the tape off. Well, that's another thing I was working on. I forgot what I was doing. I was working on this helmet over here, and then I got sidetracked. I was supposed to make this dark. Yeah, and then just kinda like this arbitrary piece back here. I wanna make it feel like it's kind of blue flowing into the background back here. Let's knock this back just a little bit in here. All right. Let's bring this pink part out here just a little bit. There we go. Pull this forward just a little bit. There we go. All right. I think I'm gonna dry it and then take off the tape. See what's happening here. Pardon the hair dryer sound. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take off the tape here. Let's see what it looks like. Pardon me. Excuse me. Peel the tape. You gotta go very slowly. Right here, top. And you gotta pull away from your image. That way, if even if you peel off paper or paint, it's oh, darn it, I hate doing that. There's my reference photo up here. That way, if you're pulling away from the picture, if it happens to peel, it will peel this way and it won't peel into the painting because that's happened before and it takes off pigment. And then you got to go back and repaint it again. Let's see, this one will go next. And it's funny, when I started painting this picture, I changed the dimensions as I went. I made it a 9, what was it? I made it 11 by 14. So I taped over where I originally taped. So I have to go in there and erase that mark. Or I might just cut the paper. Yeah, this paper is very durable. This Arches watercolor paper. A piece this size will probably go for about $45 over here. There we go. There's a close-up of it. The sentinel back there. There we go. I think I'm pretty much finished with it. Oh, I forgot to put my signature on it. Let me do that real quick. Another piece ready for WonderCon. And if it doesn't sell at WonderCon, then I've got Osaka Comic Con coming up right after that. But I'm hoping that the customers, the visitors, not just customers, the visitors at WonderCon will take a liking to the picture and kindly take it off my hands. Just erase these little pencil marks around the side. There we go. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, and her face. Yeah, thank you. All right. So I'm going to go with what color here? I'm going to go that blue. For my signature. There we go. It is finished. There we go. Awesome. Final piece with the John Hancock on it. I'll bring the camera over here. That'll make it easier that way. Bear with me for a second here. All right. There's the piece. Very good. All right. Yeah, that could be on like a Marvel card. And there's some close-ups, face, the sentinel's eye. It's all cracked up. I mean, if you look really close, it's not that detailed, but I tend for like things that are in the background, I don't want to make it too sharp, the line's too sharp, because then it'll fight with the foreground. So, like for example, this little grate thing that's on his chest is done very loosely, along with these flames back there. More implies flames than literally draws every single, you know. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna call this one finished. Not gonna touch it anymore. There we go. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it a day there. Thank you for everybody who dropped by to watch the stream. Now I'm gonna go. Oh, Lisa, thank you for the follow subscription, by the way, if you're out there. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so today I've just got some paper that's arrived. Um, whatchamacallit, I'm gonna be working on some monotypes on my printing press, and those, uh, yeah, those are a bit difficult to live stream because I have to work on plexiglass and the yeah, it just could be a bit difficult to capture on camera. So, yeah, thanks again for everybody for stopping by. Thank you for Lisa. I'm gonna get your last name wrong, so I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. Uh, look for her link in my Twitter posts. She does a lot of cosplay stuff. Very beautiful lady. Uh, yeah, it's always a pleasure to see her work on my Twitter timeline. And thank you again for letting me to do this piece. And yeah, be on the lookout for some more stuff. I'll be heading out to the states. When is it? Next Thursday, the 20th. So exactly in 1 week. I'll be there from the 20th to April 10th, so I will be accepting commissions while I'm in the States. My commissions are always open, but if you get me while I'm in the States, then you get shipping a lot cheaper than you do if I have to send it within Japan from Japan. So if you're on the fence, or if you're trying to, if you want to get something for a friend, family member, for yourself, uh, just to send me a DM on Instagram or Twitter, and I'd be happy to work with you. So that's all for now. Thank you again, everybody, for stopping by, and have a great day. And yes, see you tomorrow on Roman's show. We're going to be covering the movie. What should we call it? Event Horizon. Event Horizon. Uh, Great movie. Great horror flick. Great panel. People always very knowledgeable about you know movies in general. And I think this is one that'll be very popular with everybody. Yeah. So see you guys then. Take care. Bye bye.